Hey everyone, welcome to the January episode of the Modality Systems APAC Perspective. I'm Justin, Country Manager of Modality, and this month I'm joined by a new addition to the team here in Sydney. I've got Michael Alderson here with me.
Hello.
So today we've got a ton of really cool stuff to share with regards to some of the news that's been released around Skype for Business, some of the events that are happening in Australia as well. So a lot of stuff to cover. So first thing I'll do is just introduce Michael about kind of what his role is here at Modality. So he's come on to focus on customer solutions and putting together the entire sort of life cycle around Skype for Business delivery and adoption, and also focusing on some of our apps and software that we've got as well. So Michael, why don't you tell everybody about yourself?
Alright, so I don't know how much you want to actually know about me, but I was originally a personal trainer, then didn't want to continue to pay for fitness for $300 a week just to work there, so my friend said come work at Telstra, and pretty much been there for 12 years ever since. Then I unfortunately had a car accident and made me realise life is short and just want to get life and tackle it as much as I can. But now I'm going to be a personal trainer for people to take on board Skype and adopting Skype, so that's the way I'm going to look at it. So I'm excited for my new challenge and want to help as many people as I can within the industry, have a unified workplace that's easy, communicate with their friends and co-workers, and get them all on board. So excited.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Cool. So we went and saw a customer today that's considering Cloud PBX.
Yep.
What were the drivers that you kind of heard from them for their move to the cloud?
First of all, the main thing is the big CIO wants to actually have a bit more of a hands-on feel about what employees are actually up to. She doesn't even know what her whole admin team really does or what they do day to day, so she wants to first of all just keep a bit of a close eye on what they do. And so they want to integrate obviously all their communications through Salesforce, so they can log every single call, what time they started and finished, how many calls maybe they missed, how many incoming calls they missed I should say, and as well as obviously have a unified communications tool that obviously they can instant message, take phone calls, set up meetings all through the one device, so they don't have an Avaya system on the desk and then they've got to set up a video call through a different device. So just one unified communications tool, and their PBX is 10 years old, so they know that they have to do something there. So rather than having this predicament in another 5-10 years time where they've got to upgrade all their hardware once again with a very big upfront cost that is eventually going to be obsolete again in another 5-10 years, with Skype it's going to be an evergreen service, and have professionals like us to maintain it as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for that insight. So some other stuff to share this month is we're really excited to announce that the first Cloud PBX deployment has gone live in Singapore, that we were responsible for deploying as a sort of kind of partnership with Microsoft. So really excited to see more of those customers light up in Singapore and experience the benefits and the value of Cloud PBX. There's been some Skype operations framework updates in the last 2 weeks or so, and Microsoft are really spending time making it easy and clear to understand what SOF offers to kind of customer success and getting Skype into the hands of users cleaner and faster. And there's two things here that are worth having a look at. One is the quick start functionality that's been built into the SOF website now. So you can actually go in and it'll ask you questions to say, are you deploying online or hybrid or migrating from on-premises? Are you doing a global rollout, single site, multi-site? And then it'll actually direct you to the right part of Skype Operations Framework to start from. And then you can sort of transition through the envisioning, the planning, design, assessment stages through to delivery, and then just sort of look at the bits that are most relevant to your scenario. So have a look at the Skype Operations Framework website for more details on that. And then the next thing on there is there's like a troubleshooting self-help section on the SOF website now. So if you're experiencing problems with Cloud PBX and PSTN calling or mobility, or kind of like any of those other type of features, you can go in and actually check it, and then it will ask you more questions about the kind of problem you're having, and then point you to some resources to solve that problem. So things there that maybe you've gotten a bit frustrated in the past, and Microsoft are really kind of being proactive to help you get those problems fixed. Next thing that's coming out is there's some Skype client changes that are coming down the pipeline. And the first one there is actually introducing a way to do a consultative transfer in Skype for Business. And this is something that I remember from deployments of Office Communicator and Link 2010, that the call transfer experience was always really a bit tough. So you had to, if you wanted to talk to somebody before you transferred the call to them, you had to put the current call that you were on hold, and then create a new call to that person, speak to them, and then have two windows up at once, and then click transfer to transfer them across. So it was a little bit clunky. You kind of had to feel your way through it, get confident before you could use it efficiently. So Microsoft are now putting in a consultative transfer button into that calling window, so you can actually call somebody straight away and then do a consult transfer all within one window, so you don't have to flip between them anymore. Next one is some changes in the incoming notification that you get in Skype. I think there's been some confusion around whether it's an incoming IM or a call or a video call, and people maybe not are prepared on how to take the call. So now it's really clear that it's a call, and if it's a call for a delegate, it says that it's a call for this person that you're a delegate for. So that's just going to make it easier for people to adopt Skype and just get the value out of it in faster method, basically. Next big thing happening in Australia this month is Microsoft Ignite Australia, happening next month in February in Gold Coast on the 14th. It's going to be a massive event. It's over 4 days in the Gold Coast Convention Centre. I think it's pretty close to selling out now. It's effectively kind of the premier IT Pro conference in Australia. So we're excited to be there. I'm going to be presenting a session on Cloud PBX on Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. In the keynote arena, where I'll be talking about what's the value of doing this, what is the status quo that we're trying to break to innovate and disrupt the ways that people have been working for the last 20-30 years in business. And also going to have a early adopter Cloud PBX customer here from Australia to join me for a bit of a Q&A in the middle of that session. So if you're going to Ignite next month, make sure you come down to my session. I think it'll be really valuable for Skype for Business and any of the plans you've got to deploy cloud communications. On the Modality front, we actually have a webinar running on the 22nd of February as well, so a week after Ignite. And it's all focused on adoption and getting results and key success around Skype for Business. And it ties back to our kind of notion that productivity tools are like gym memberships, and that just by owning one doesn't mean you're going to get the results and the performance out of it that you expect. So to address that, we've created something called Cloud Communications Express, which is pretty much a fast track to Skype for Business online adoption, which includes all the planning and delivery assistance that you need to get there, some of our applications to drive adoption, and then an impact assessment to really understand if your environment's ready for sort of widespread adoption of Skype for Business online also. So make sure you join us 22nd of Feb. There'll be a register link in the info button down here below, so make sure you check that one out. Then we've also got a white paper that we produced a month ago called The Future of Cloud Communications in Australia. And there's some really compelling info in there around the direction that we see the market going towards, why Australian businesses are making that leap. And a lot of it's around workstream collaboration and really using the right tool for the job based on the context of the communication. So if you're interested in that, head up to our website and download that white paper. Cool, so that brings us to the end of another APAC Perspective for the month. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can hit me up at Jusitin Morris without the N in the middle, or at Modality Systems. Same on LinkedIn and also on YouTube here as well. So thanks again to Michael for joining us for our first video, and welcome to the team.
Thank you.
And thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you again next month.